Hello, and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. It is January 30th, 2025. Just one more day of January to go. And for what has been a very unusually dry January, we're going to have a wet day tomorrow. But today, we started off with sun. The clouds quickly kind of came in by early in the afternoon. You could see they were really rolling in on us. The satellite doesn't really show it, but I can show it to you here. So we started off nice and clear. And yes, I was in the Pines today in an area east of Pine Lawn that is under threat for development. So I'll show you that. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at these beautiful pines here. Beautiful place. But the clouds did wind up coming in a little bit later. And then it's just the cirrus that came in a little bit later here, a little later on. So anyway, well, looking at the satellite now, you can see plenty of clouds. This is all in association. We can actually probably roll this back to 120. Yeah, you can see the clouds kind of come in today. So they came in pretty quick. They were in New Jersey by like 11, 12, and then they rolled in on us right around 12:45, 1 o'clock. Yeah, they just kind of just rolled right in on us. Not a surprise. Looking at the weather map, you see here, this is like a warm front here, and this is this big complex system that's going to be bringing us rain for tomorrow. You can see it right here again on the surface analysis. Let's go to our statistics for today. Now, there might be some icing to the north and the west, but we're not going to focus on that. We'll look at our statistics for today. It was a cool day today. High only, according to this, 34 at Islip. That's 5 degrees below normal. The low of 24, right at normal. So we're 2 degrees below normal at Islip today. Looking at our current conditions across the area, and you can see, yes, the troughs and going into the northwest. You can see they're getting all the storminess there. For us, though, it is not as cold now, right? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 23 at West Ham. I'm not going to see a lot of radiational cooling with that cloud cover. 28 at Islip. So we've dropped off, and then it looks like it's in the mid-30s as you go around New York City, and upper 20s in New Jersey. Looking at the highs today, our high temperatures got up into the mid-30s pretty much. That's all. So we were a little bit below normal today. It was a lot warmer in Jersey, though. Got up into the low 40s in Ocean County. For the lows, 21 at West Hampton, 24, so no radiational cooling, 24 at Islip. Well, let's see if Jersey picked up on any of that radiational cooling. Nope, mid-20s there. So that's what it looks like with our highs and lows today. Let's go and look at the radar. Actually, we'll go to the satellite here. We'll go to the radar first. You can see, yeah, this big system here and a lot of rain associated with the system, and even possibly some thunderstorm activity in Louisiana. I don't think it's severe, though. Don't think it's severe. I don't see anything. I don't recall seeing anything on the hazards map about it. Let's pull this out to the CONUS view. You can see this big system here and this big plume of moisture coming up from the Gulf and riding up over the Northeast. So this is what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. You can see there's the low associated with it. Let's go to the models now and take a look and see what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. We'll talk about part of the weekend in this update, but I'll cover the weekend tomorrow more. We got to get through this system. So you can see that high quickly moving offshore. Here's your low pressure area that's going to be over us. And it's going to take, it looks like it's starting to slow it down a little bit. So it's going to be with us throughout the whole day tomorrow. Rain all day. And it won't stop until Saturday. Then the high builds in. So that's how your January is going to end. Kind of an interesting cold month, a dry month, but they both ended. Both the beginning of January, we had that thunderstorm. And then tomorrow with the rain, kind of bookend wet weather on both ends, which is kind of interesting. Let's go to the 0Z run of the HRRR first. And I'll first show the dew points and wind flow so you get an idea of what's happening here in the atmosphere. So the dry air is leaving. We got a south wind tomorrow. The dew points don't rise too much over here, but you notice off to the south, you definitely see some moisture building in there over southern New Jersey. That's going to ride up over the colder air at the surface, bringing us the rain. And then behind it, as we head into Saturday, the cold air comes back with a north wind and that should hopefully bring us a nicer day on Saturday. So let's go look at our temperatures, and then we'll go and we'll take a look at the radar. So you get an idea that there may be an issue north and west. The cold air may be slow to leave the valley, so there may be some minor icing there. But then everybody pretty much goes above freezing tomorrow. We'll be in the low 40s, and even you can see where that warm front is. Look at how warm it gets off to the south. Some very warm air over the southeast that's being brought north by this storm. But you'll see here that part of New Jersey might get up to 50. But then tomorrow night into Saturday, the temps come crashing down. By morning, we're around freezing. And Saturday, the temperatures may wind up dropping throughout the day, through the 20s, and perhaps even colder than that, into the teens by night. So it will get much, much colder after the rain is done. But now let's turn our focus to the rain. And this rain is going to be moving up. You see a few little showers moving through in the morning, and then a little bit of a break in the afternoon. But then in the evening, it fills in, and we have a period of rain. Looks like the heaviest rain may wind up staying just to the south of us, at least according to the HRRR. So let's look at that. Let's look at the total accumulated precip on the HRRR. And yeah, it really doesn't give our area a whole lot, actually. Long Island might only get a quarter of an inch or less, and has the heavier rain. Ocean County on Southwood, where you get a half an inch, and then so the HRRR kind of actually mainly gives us just light rain tomorrow, and it really won't be that wet of a day. That's a change from the last run that I saw. However, looking at that radar, I'm not sure if I'm buying that. There is a lot of dry air at the surface, though. But let's go and look at some of the other models, like the NAM. And the NAM's probably a little different. So here's the NAM. Again, that little batch in the morning, and then a little bit of a break. And then, here's your steady rain for the evening. And it does bring some of the heavier rain right around 7 o'clock. And it continues. It lingers around. There's going to be sucky drizzle when it's not raining. And that doesn't really push off until we get into Saturday morning. So you can see, there's quite a bit of rain there. So let's go to the total accumulated precip here and look at the NAM. And the NAM brings that heavier rain a little more northward, so maybe a half an inch, maybe up to 3/4 of an inch. I don't think anyone's going to see an inch out of it. This is what we got. This is what it looks like. So lastly, we'll go to the HDRPS. Let's do that one. We'll have to look at the 18Z run for this. See how this handles it. You can see again that rain, so you can see that it doesn't really have a whole lot of rain, and then it brings some heavier rain in toward the evening. The heaviest stuff, though, does wind up staying off to the south. You can see, look at how slow the HRRR is, especially Jersey, for it to clear. Even at 15Z, it could still have some light precipitation. So, this low, it wants to slow it down a little bit. Let's go to the GFS. This is the next one. So here's the GFS, lower resolution. You can see it's kind of slow. It moves slow. It slows down. We may wind up seeing more rain. But again, the highest amounts would wind up being south. But it's going to be an all-day event. Even if the rain stops, I think we're going to have sucky drizzle around. So just a day to stay inside tomorrow. It is going to suck. There's no question about it. That is what it looks like with the rain. There won't be too much wind with this. The wind may be more of a concern as we head into Saturday, and I'll talk about that more tomorrow. But hopefully the skies will clear out by Saturday, so I'll just go look. Obviously, we're going to have nothing but clouds tomorrow, but hopefully by Saturday the skies clear out, because then Sunday the clouds roll right back in on us again. So you can look at the RGM for the skies, I guess. Here's the RGM. You can see it looks like it tries to get those clouds out of here by late morning, so hopefully we'll have a sunny day on Saturday. But with the rain, we'll look at the RGM too as well with this and see what it looks like. You can see that rain's just going to continue throughout the day tomorrow. So, well, it won't really be, I can't really call it a soaker. It's going to be, you can see even by 12Z, it's still hanging on a little bit over the south. So this thing is just not moving that fast. It's going to take its sweet time getting on out of here, unfortunately. And that means an all-day affair for the rain, as usual. It's never a quick shot. Oh, a line of showers moves through for an hour or two. That would be nice. That's the way things used to be, but it doesn't seem like that happens anymore. But getting back, I'll just shift this over to the eastern U.S. and shift this over to the GFS, just so you get an idea of the warmth that's being brought up by this. Actually, you can use the 700 to 300. This is actually a good idea. You can see there's a lot of moisture, this Gulf moisture, so that's why the rain might wind up being heavier than it. It's just a matter of where that all sets up at. But we could wind up overperforming on rainfalls, even though I'm looking at the models, and yes, there's dry air at the surface, but I wouldn't be surprised if we overperformed given that Gulf moisture that's being brought up there. You can see it clearly on that. And if we look at the dew points, again, you can see the real humid air that's being pulled up by this system here. Though we're not going to get into it. It's going to be lifted over the surface, and that's where we're going to see that rain. And again, a lot of warmth, too. A lot of warm air with this that's being surging northward. I mean, 70s into North Carolina. A lot of warm air that's going to be surging northward with this. So that is what we're going to be dealing with. It's just a wet day tomorrow. As far as wind goes, again, the wind isn't going to be too much of an issue tomorrow. We look at wind gusts here. Not really that much of an issue. The stronger winds are in the warm sector, which stays pretty much off to the south tomorrow. Saturday, we'll have to deal with a little more wind, but I don't think it'll be wind advisory criteria. It'll just enough to make it feel colder, that's all. There's one other thing we can look at here, and usually I don't, but we will go ahead and look at it anyway. That's the FGen, just to show you where this helps kind of show us where the rain would wind up setting up. So you can see there are some areas where there will be heavier rain. Again, morning, and then another batch. I think the evening batch right around, I'd say between 4 or 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. That's going to be your heavier, steadiest rain, and it could come down. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some overperforming in some areas. It's how it all lines up is the issue, where all these areas are set up. But yeah, it's going to suck. If you have plans for Friday night, I'm sorry, but they're going to be ruined. You have to do them indoors. So that is going to wrap up this Long Island weather report. Have a good night.